Tech Kid here, and in this video I bring you a very special video. This is the Keychron K4. This is my very first mechanical keyboard, and boy do I have some thoughts. Let's start off with the design. When it comes stock to you from Keychron, the design is very simple. You got nice dark gray and lighter gray keycaps, the red accent on the escape key and the light key if you choose. I have chosen not to have it on the light key because I think having the red escape key is a nice touch. We'll do a sound test later in the video, but first let's talk about the key points of a mechanical keyboard. Alright, so the first thing we're going to talk about with this keyboard is going to be the stabilizer. So the stabilizers on this keyboard are very stable. Nothing rocks vigorously as it should. Everything is stable on this keyboard, and when you are typing, there is absolutely no wobble whatsoever. It is a nice, solid experience when you're typing on this keyboard. All the stabilizers are on this keyboard are little pegs that go down with the keyboard at the very end of the actual keycap and at the actual placement of where the keycap goes. They're just little pegs that you slide down with the keyboard, and that's what helps keep them nice and stable at all times. There is no wobble, and I think it is just incredible. And there is absolute no wobble while typing on this keyboard. Next, the smoothness of the key switch. The key switches themselves are Keychron browns. Now, we'll get into the more customization features later in the video, but I chose the Keychron browns because of their deep sound that I like. Now, the smoothness of the switches, they are very smooth. There's no roughness to them. I mean, I don't really know what to talk about when it comes to the smoothness of the switches is very well done. The Keychron browns, which is what I have in this keyboard, are extremely well done. I'm going to assume they've been lubed from the factory as well, which helps with the smoothness as well. I would recommend, if your switches don't feel right, maybe lube them. And if you are experienced, unlike I am not experienced at all, maybe lube the switches and maybe see if that will help increase the smoothness of the switches. Next, layers. So with this keyboard, it comes with the function row as well as the keyboard function. Now how do you switch that, you ask? You press function, X, and L. You press these three keys, the board will blink a few times, and then you have switched either the function row or the keyboard functions. Overall, very smooth way to transition from each, and actually it is a nice feature to have because I like having the function row because I use it while playing my games, and I also like having the keyboard function row because I like using it for my media controls when I can. The keyboard that I have, the specs of this keyboard is a 4,000 mAh battery, and this one I chose to not have RGB. Now, I know that is the absolute craziest thing in the world for someone not to choose RGB. Hear me out. I chose not to have RGB because I didn't want it to clash with the keyboard itself, nor did I want it to clash with my setup. And I kind of wanted to go for something a little more color neutral in case something changed with my color scheme of my setup. That is why I went with white. It's still backlit, which is what I require in a keyboard. I like working in the dark. It's kind of a weird thing I have, but it's fun. I required backlight, so I chose the white. This is what it looks like. It is still extremely clean, and you also, holy crap. As you can see, it is very clean. And with the white backlight, you also get a bunch of different lighting arrays. My favorite is the one where you press the key, and it just slowly fades back in. The reason I like that one is, again, I like working in the dark, and so I can see it, but I still get a lighting effect. With this keyboard, you also get USB Type-C, and you get Windows and Android and macOS functionality as well. As you saw in the unboxing a little while ago on my channel, you saw that the keys were a little different. It came with Mac keys as standards. I had to use the keycap puller to pull the keys and to put the Windows keys on since I am on Windows. Build quality of the keyboard is absolutely incredible for what it is. The keyboard that I have is fully plastic. The main body of the keyboard is absolutely incredible for what it is. The keycaps, as well as the actual body itself, is made of ABS plastic. Now, when you're buying this keyboard off of Keychron.com, you can also option it to have a fully aluminum body as well. I did not choose that because I was on a budget. The customization that I have on my keyboard cost me $90 total. And with mine, I have the white backlight, the plastic, the hot swappable, which I'll get into in a sec, and as well as Gateron Browns. So, you can choose however you want to build it. It's all up to you, but if you have the extra money, I would recommend go for the aluminum because I am pretty sure it looks a lot cooler than mine. Now for the switches. These switches that I have, again, are hot swappable. Your keyboard will also come with a key switch puller. I recommend watch a video on how to do it if you are in the complete dark of mechanical keyboard. You will, for those that are into mechanical keyboards, I think I know who you are if you're watching this video, I completely butchered my first keycap. As you see in this B-roll, I was trying to pull it, completely pulled it the wrong way, and happened to crack one of the key switches. Now, thankfully it still works just fine, but after that happened, I'm like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna watch a video. So if you don't know how to pull it or do anything with it, I recommend watch a video. Now, I didn't know how to pull the key caps. That's pretty self-explanatory. But the key switches are a little more different, so I recommend you watch a video on that. But again, I chose the Gateron Browns, and I absolutely love them. And while we're speaking of Gateron Browns, here is the sound test. Satisfying, isn't it? Trust me, I absolutely love the sound of this keyboard. I love typing on it. It is so comfortable. I love it. It is just, it's my first mechanical keyboard, and honestly, after my membrane keyboard, I cannot go back to membrane. The mechanical sound is just wonderful, and it's so comfortable to type on. You would think typing on plastic couldn't be comfortable, but it really is. It really depends on what the keyboard is made of. So, if you're on the fence of buying a mechanical keyboard, I recommend do it. This keyboard is wireless, and as mentioned before, it has a 4,000 milliamp hour battery. So, how is the performance? Well, one, the battery. It can last a good 4 or 5 days while using it. Now, I don't turn it on and off every night, so it could definitely be a lot better if you are more responsible than I am. I'll probably leave it on all night, 2-3 times a week, or I'll just forget about it. So with how my setup is set up, I can plug in the USB Type-C to USB-A cord from my computer, from the top I/O panel of my computer, and I can plug it straight into the keyboard and use it just fine. You can definitely use it with a custom keyboard wire that you want, USB Type-C wire. You can use it with any Type-C wire if you want. It's all up to you. It has an option where you can either use it, you can either turn it on, turn it off, you can turn it on with Bluetooth, turn it off, or use it with a cable. Those are your options. If you want to use it with your cable, it is a lot better because it's always charged, and if you need to hop on the go, it's always ready. Now, I like to use it on the wireless because I'm trying to minimize cables. Now, get subscribed so you don't miss my desk setup tour, which is coming in the next 2 months. roughly 2 months or so. How is the latency while it is wireless? Honestly, I noticed no difference compared to my wired Corsair keyboard that I had a few months ago. Every keystroke is instant. Gaming on it is easy. I have had no complaints over it. I am very picky when it comes to latency, and I have not noticed a single thing. The wireless connection is strong as can be, and it is absolutely incredible. If you were on the fence of a wireless I was actually on the fence of a wireless keyboard, because with wireless things, it's usually not instant, and when I log in on my computer, it can take a little bit. No, computer's on, keyboard is on instantly. Absolutely incredible wireless connectivity, and there is even no dongle, and yeah, it's a good keyboard. So conclusion, if you're on the fence of a wireless keyboard, and you want a mechanical one, and you have $100 to spend, go for the Keychron K4 version 2. It is a 96% 100 key keyboard. It is absolutely incredible, and honestly, I would dub it the best mechanical keyboard for $100. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.